Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's another fun-filled week, and here we are. Indeed, indeed. It's the new year. Tax situation is over with at the moment, which is nice. In other words, trades are being made by supply and demand, and quantitative easing. The three. But it's always better to have that than the fourth, and that is the tax man. So there's the dollar index you can see on J4X this morning. You see it's lifting up a little bit. We came in from last week. Was that it's trying to get into a daily buy. There's no doubt about that. You can see the fast on Friday went out at 33.54. And the slow, excuse me, went out at 1976. There was a green hinky right there. So that represented the going into a buy. Over here on the beta, you can see, did we do it to there? No, right there. Just went into the buy today. I guess that is. Is that today? Let's see what that is. Let's double check that. Yeah, today. So it's going into the buy today. You can see it here on the histogram. Our weekly is still trying to move up. We'll know better tomorrow. And when we go over to the, where is it at? Right. The old platform. You can see it tried to get through there, but we were a green and a red. And so I believe it was above. Was it above or wasn't it? I don't think it was. No, it was minus. What was it? Was it minus 0.0.1? Same thing with the green. And so the histogram and the green were still minus and now climbing up. And you can see the weekly trying to turn a little bit right there. So, again, news in America. The classic dollar disaster, worst currency in the world, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's amazing they come up with these bozos ideas. Dollars to me is a fair value, maybe a little overpriced, but it seems just right for me for what we got going on at the moment. When Mr. Trump was just leaving office, the dollar was up to the 114 area, talking about that definitely way overbought. And that just showed you that money was so desperate, it just had to come here compared to other places. And it seems right now money is going towards the Swiss franc at the moment, which is very positive. And the Swiss franc, basically, or the Swiss National Bank, has the what you would call the Fed put. It seems like we saw it get into have issues. Now it's 2 years ago. Basically, this time of the year, it finally rolled over and started to gain value again. It had fallen from, or it had gone from like 101, almost 102. Now it's trading at, I think it's trading at 83. Let's just take a look at that real quick. Right there. Right there. That's the euro. And there is the Swiss. The Swiss is trading in the 84s. It was down as low as last week, down to 83.33. And we're looking at a product that no more than 14 months ago. Let's see if we can show it to you on the screen here. It was 14 months ago. Was trading in the what was that 101 area back in November, and then the Fed started doing swaps with the National Bank of Switzerland, and started to bring it down, and started changing the whole complexion, dealing with that issue with Credit Suisse, and that's all been resolved. So I guess you can say when you're really looking for an alternative pairs trade, you can buy the Swiss and sell the dollar. That's a good one. This thing gained an enormous amount, going from the 101 down to basically 17 handles, down to the 83.33. So that's it tells us that we're seeing the right product as the best of the pairs. That's the way we see it. And compared to say the pound, which picked up like maybe from the same time period. Let's just take a look at that again on the pound. There's the pound, going all the way back to that same time period of November of last year, or I'm sorry, 2 Novembers back now. December basically. It was in the 120. Was that 124? Right there. That 122 to 123 area, something like that. 124, and you fast forward to today, and it's trading at 126. So it's gained 2 handles against the dollar, whereas the Swiss has gained almost 17 handles against the dollar, almost 18 handles. And then when we look at the euro, the same way again. We go all the way back to the December of last year, 2 Decembers back, not last week, but right there. You see it was trading in the 101. It had just come off its all-time low, of 90. Was that 95 or something like that, and change. And now we see from there that's acting a lot better, obviously, because you're talking about 109 from there. Basically, you're looking at somewhere around 13, 14 handles. So obviously, the Swiss is one of the better. That's without a doubt. The Swiss is definitely a really good pairs trade. So when you really want to be out of dollars, go to Swiss, because it seems to me they are protected by the Fed, because look at all those swaps they did to straighten everything out back in November and December of 2022. So that tells us that money realizes that's the place to be. All right, let's get back to the dollar again. What else can we say about it as it sits there on J4X? I guess that's about it. Nothing too more exciting than that. And you can see at the same time, we go over to, we'll get it there in a second, right there. You can see the same thing there with the dollar index. It looks like it's trying to lift through. It's trying to get into the buy. And let's see what the J4X shows us on a weekly basis. We usually look most of the time at the dailies, but rarely do we always concentrate on the weeklies. It hasn't started yet, but you can see the fast is above the slow. So 21 versus 19. And so it's starting to turn up. We just need a green hinky ASCII to develop. College football. That's what we're talking about. College football. All right. Now, from there, let's see, what else do we go with? I guess that's about it. I don't see any questions being asked. Maybe some people will come in, ask some questions. We'll kick some ideas around, that type of thing. Robin, you out there? Janos, you out there? Happy New Year's to both of you. There we are. All right. So, no news from anybody out there but me. That's quite all right. All right. So, from there, we'll go over to the euro. Let's take a look at that euro and see what's going on, as we saw a few minutes ago, or a few seconds ago, I guess you could say right now. There is the euro future we're going to throw on beta. We're going to throw the, where's it at? Put the euro up right there. There it is right there. Having a little pressure there. Did it make it into the sell on Friday? What do we got there? Looks like it's got very close. Is that a minus or a plus? That is a minus, I see. All right, so it went into the daily sell on Friday. But the weekly is still holding up. It's, matter of fact, both are on top of the manifold as we speak. So we're not convinced that there's a lot of selling out there. Just probably trying to adjust. Wow. All right, so what else can we say about any of this? I guess we can say is that the euro, is just doing more correcting, from and a lot of that, like we said, was More than likely, the strength we'd seen to some extent was probably tax situations more than anything else, covering shorts, taking, selling longs. The gains that they had. That type of thing. Offsetting against other things that they had losses in. That's why we're always happy. Oh, there we go. There's Robin. Traders, Docs covers practically every market out there for futures, forex, stocks, ETFs. Feel free to ask a question. Yes, that's a good one. Yes, I am. Hey, Robin. So, let me think. So, what we have here is, the tax selling is done, and now our tax buying is done. Either way, it's both sides of it. For somebody, it's tax selling. For another trader, it's tax buying. In this case here, there was a lot more strength. We saw 5 central banks being involved in doing window dressing this year. That was very entertaining. Says a lot about our world economy. What else can we say? I guess that's about it with the euro. So let's check out, and we'll put it up on J4X too. Let's put the euro there, and then we'll start marching through the rest of the currencies, unless someone, excuse me, wants to see something, which then we're really happy to show them what our math says about something and what we think about something. And there it is right there. Going on a second day of the sell also there. You see it? Pressure on. 2 days here. Excuse me. Let's put that red line in there to help the traders understand we were in a sell. There it is right there. All right. And again, like I said, that weekly is not exactly showing a lot of weakness. Let's show the euro weekly. See what that looks like. Here it comes. It'll spit out in a few seconds there. From there, we're going to go. Okay, there it is. So there's the euro. It's still showing the same type of strength we're seeing right here. All right, and from there we will go over to the British pound. Right there, GBP. Put it up over here. Yeah, well, that's now that's just going into the sell today. You see that, and it just is dipping underneath the weekly too, which is a little curious. You can see both were underneath closing out last week, underneath the manifold. Now we're piercing the line that would put them into a weekly sell, and that says a lot too. And yo. So what else can I say about these currencies? I guess these two currencies, like I said, I've been really impressed with the Swiss more than anything else. Showing 17, 18 handles. And no doubt that the euro did a pretty good job going to all-time lows and then bouncing. There's no doubt about that. That's impressive. Yeah, that is impressive. But finally, after all these years, people would ask me, Doc, when is the euro going to break the century mark? It finally did, and we were there for it. So now it seems to be comfortable sitting on top of... let me say this about that. You know how I say that the dollar index is just a little overbought, nothing more than that. I would say that you could say the same thing for the euro at the moment, being over par. You have to assume that when it's at par, that 100, that's probably fair value, and then when it goes to 105, it's overvalued. And then when it falls to 95, it's undervalued. And you have those extremes. For the cable, hard to say. The cable has come down historically over the last century. Last 100 years, it's come down from like 18 to the dollar to like, now we're down to like 1.25 to the dollar, that type of thing. So it's hard to really, could we say that it's overvalued because it's not trading at that par? I don't think it's the same thing. It's just like when you look at volatility of currencies and stocks compared to volatility of, say, natural gas, natural oil. The barrel of oil. They have totally different volatilities and fair values. And so in this case here, let's put it this way: we saw oil go to minus $39 one day. Because people didn't want to take delivery of the contract. So the front month went to minus $39. So in other words, if you had a place to park oil, you could have gotten 39. Was it I think the contract is 10,000 barrels or 50,000 barrels. I think it's 10,000 barrels. And so, you could have had 10,000 barrels for someone would pay you to take the oil at $39. So, trying to understand different volatilities for different products and their values is a real challenge. And that's what traders like myself, analysts like myself, market technicians like myself, and newsletter writers like myself basically try to battle the same situation every day. All right, from there we'll go over to the Swiss, which we think seems to be right now telling us these last couple of years is like the best product against following dollar. And so and you can see that there. And the weekly is trying to bounce up after a nice good glide down from the 90 area. It went down to 83, and now we're starting to pop up a little bit. You can see the little daily there today. It's starting to stir pretty strong, and the weekly is making a quick dash. Before you know it, you can see the histogram is above the manifold, and the slow and the fast are doing their best to get above that. So, are getting above that manifold also. All right. What else can we say? Let's take a look at it on J4X. Dollar Swiss. Right there. You see a little green starting to develop there for the daily, just the same as we're seeing right here. And let's see how the weekly looks. I'm sure it's probably lagging just a little bit. Let's see. Still putting its calculation together. And we'll see, there it is. Still in the red. But notice that the fast blue above the yellow dashed is trading at 20. Whereas the slow is trading at, what's that? 18? Yeah, 18. So we're getting that strength. You can see that starting to work its way into the weekly on the J4X. Having a sip of my tea. So excuse me, traders. All right, now let's go over to, where do we go from there? We go to the yen, I believe. That's our next stop. Boy, the earthquake. We had an X5 flare from the sun yesterday afternoon, or yesterday morning, and they got a tough. It hit that part of the earth, and we got a tsunami and an earthquake from it all, and in Japan. And so basically it's pretty tough times right now over there. Then an airplane supposedly hit a, I don't know, Coast Guard airplane or something on the runway, or taxiing or something, and caught on fire, and the 390 passengers slipped out real quick with the captain saying abandon ship, and they slid down parachute type things, and next thing you know is everybody's safe, and the plane burned to the literally to the crisp. So, all right, there's the yen. See, the yen is trying to perk up just like everybody else is. In other words, they're losing a little bit against the dollar, but see, we got a green and a red, so it's doing a little battling there. You see, the weekly here is trying to make a little curve on the upside. Needs a lot more work, of course. And let's put it up over on J4X there. right there. And still in the red on the Hinky Ashki. The fastest at 47.4, and the slow is at 33, or 33.7. So again, you see some of the strength starting to really come in, and we're just waiting for the Hinky Ashki to turn when it comes to the J4X. How about that new one, Robin, huh? The Dow Jones Industrial Average following the classics. You know, the NASDAQ or the Tech 100 following the S&P 500, doing the 30-year bond, doing gold, and doing oil. Look at it. 6 things like that. That's really cool. That's the classics. Doing the classics. All right. From there, we go over to the Great Experiment. Let's see what the Great Experiment is doing this morning. Friday. Woof. Woof. Woof, woof. They got it through the 33 area. I don't really... I can come up with projections, but I hate doing it because I really feel bad for the country, and I feel like my projections actually come true all the time. So that's really irritating. It'd be one thing if I said something and it was wrong 50% of the time, but it seems like every one of my projections over the last 10 years with the Turkish lira has been right. So I don't really want to, put any more bad spin on the poor product. That is cool. That is cool. Did you talk to them about the beta? So you see there the Turkish lira didn't close. I don't believe it closed at an all-time high on Friday. See, Thursday's close was 32.64. I think that was the all-time high there of closing. No, wait a minute. There's the 32.65.7 on Wednesday was the all-time close. Then just missed it on Thursday. Missed it again on Friday, did it? Let's see. This has to be 30s. Ooh, almost. It got up to 67. Darn. Okay. So then today it's just a little bit below. We need to go about 40. From 32.61 to 32.66, basically. Huh. So, all right. What do we got here? So you can see, look at this too. This is an interesting thing. It's trying to get into the sell. We got a red dot. You see it's trying to press down a little bit. The weekly has not budged since basically the beginning of September. So, I mean it's been in the plus. It just doesn't let go. I guess the next, situation with this product will be is... I don't know. They got the interest rates now at up to 32.5% in Turkey. So I'm not sure what else they're going to do. 36%, something like that. So I guess they can slowly inch those interest rates up more and more to try to hold the product. But again, if your economy's not growing, it makes it very hard. It really does. It makes it very hard for anybody to want to invest. And when you have some say inflation is over 100%. Some say it's only, the government I think claims it's in the 60% area. Either way, that's not. I mean, even when we complain here in the States about inflation, it got up to about 10%. But to have 50, 60, or 70% inflation really hinders an economy to grow. And so there's not much of a reason to want to invest in that country until things look more stable. All right. So from there, let's drift over to the South African Rand, and we'll see how the metals are doing. We'll see what's going on with the rest of them. Seems like the Rand is kind of quiet. It's been sideways up a little bit. You can see here the weekly is trying to turn up. It's been real choppy the end of the year. A real choppy end of the year in the sense that you went into a buy here from a sell there. And went up to here and went into a buy and it went right back into a sell again. And the sell was right there. Just right in, I think it was the close of this bar right there. And then, and then it finds a way to get it back into the buy the following week. Then last week it pushes itself right back into the sell again. So it's a very choppy situation. And let's see if we can move some of these lines into the right direction. So there's your sell. There's your next sell right there. Let's grab that buy. Move that buy over to where? Right there. So it was in the buy all the way up to, I guess it was, looks like it might have gone into the sell right there. So let's put a sell in there. Such a choppy situation. Sell. Then a buy. Let's see if we can steal a buy from somewhere else. There's a buy. Let's grab that. I mean, let's put it that way. It's been very volatile. Then you get into the buy there. Doesn't do very well at all. And you're already down in the sell again. And then, you know, let's see. Where does it go into the buy? Right here. So we can find one more buy signal. There it is. Let's steal that one. You can see as we go back in history how smoother it was until the tax season came along. Once that tax season comes along, it becomes extremely irritating. And let's see. So it's trying to get into the buy as we speak right now. We just need to get rid of that red dot, which is not a bullish thing. It's a bearish thing. So when the South African rand goes up, like here, usually the metals go down in value. You know, so like you see where here, where it goes down, you know, silver and gold and so forth go up in value. So it goes back and forth. All right. From there, we go over to well, we're looking at the South African rand. We'll put that up on J4X. Right there. And as you can see, the pressure has been more of the downside, so you expect to see metals trying to go up in value. So let's take a look at, let's look at copper right there because we got it. And last 3 days or so, it's been going down. And the last couple days over here, where's it at? You know, the dollar, where are we looking at? Oh, South African rand. South African rand, let me just do a quick flash to it again. You can see it's been kind of, that's why we put that green line in there. We're fooling around with the idea of it's pretty much been going nowhere. You know, we should probably change the color to it, though. Something like yellow or something like that. You can see that it's been really trapped in a really tight range for the tax season. Now they're trying to get into the daily buy, and it looks like the weekly's turning up. Maybe we're seeing the beginning of another selling of the South African rand against the dollar. So, you know, we're going to probably see some weakness in the metals. Now, in the case of, we go back to copper. Where's copper at? Not there. Right there. So with copper there, it's been it's kind of a little bit pushed down. So it's kind of telling that story that the currency is telling us. When we go and look at gold, gold's trying to tell us the same thing. It was trying to get some strength into it this morning. Guess we can move that green out of there. You know, the pressure is on, and you see we're flirting with the weekly sell when it comes to gold. When we go over to the beta, let's take a look at the beta on gold also. Where is it at? Let's see. There it is right there. Let's see. Let's put it up on the screen here. There is, you can see the daily is pushing through today, and the weekly pushed through last week. So it doesn't look like it'll change much going into tomorrow. So we're seeing pressure come in to this sector pretty clearly at this point. And then again, as we see in the South African rand, it does seem to have from here, or even down in here, it seems to have an upwardly slope. It's trying to go up in value. All right. From there, we go over and take a look at silver. I'm going to save this gold. Gold, 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 gold. All right. Now, let's put silver up there. And there it is, silver. Silver rolled over here, didn't really fall much. You're talking about in the mid 20s, was it? Is that 20s or 24? It's 24.40, 24.50, that type of thing. It's worked its way down to 23.76. Today it's up a little bit at 24.13, where it settled on Friday at 24.08. So it's about 6 cents above. You can see the weekly closed very easily in the sell. It started to pierce, and it's in the weekly sell now. So, and now we have gold trying to get into the weekly sell. So we're seeing a lot of push in that direction. All right, now over here, let's see what. There we go. Here is silver, and there's the March silver on the beta. Let's show you that. All right. You see there in a daily sell for a bunch of days, like here, like on where's it at? Right there, days of sells from there, and there's that 2 week, going on a second week. Or no, I'm sorry, this is the first week in a sell, going on a second week now. So it closed last week in a sell, and you see the same thing right here on the beta. And let's take a look at right there. There's silver on the J4X doing the same thing. A couple days in the sell, bouncing around. Four out of the last 5 days in the sell. So it keeps on pressing down. And that's the silver contract. Let's see what the gold looks like. There's the gold. Same situation. Went into a sell on Friday, trying to get back into the buy today. The fast is at 47, the slow is at 63, so it's not, needs that to turn into, one of them needs to switch to set up a trend there. All right, so from there, let's put it over here, and there's that gold. And you can see, like as I said, gold is pushing down. Now let's look at the platinum, the last of the metals that we always follow. Platinum, right there. You see that's pressing down. Weekly's holding up fairly well. We really find it hard to believe that anybody would be willing to short this product at $1,000, where it's trading at the moment, when gold is trading at almost $2,000 or $1,900 and change. So that really shows me that it's like $2,000. You can see it up on J4X. It's a big number, 50%. When for decades upon decades upon decades, we saw platinum trade to a premium on gold. Now it's $1,000 underneath it. So it makes it really, really hard for a trader to want to short that product. We know the odds are against it over time. And it must be part of a manifestation of the central bank / quantitative easing that does that. I was watching some other financial shows this morning, and I was laughing to myself. They're showing since 1928 in this and since 1928 in that. And I'm thinking to myself, we didn't have quantitative easing in 1928. How can you, it should be it should be 2008. The end of 2008 going into 2009 was the beginning of quantitative easing. And so, what it really comes down to more than anything else is that they have to compare it to that. They can't compare it to 1928. Who would have ever assumed that people would put billions and billions of dollars into government bonds that don't pay any interest, and you have to pay interest to buy those bonds to begin with? Where's that normality? I never seen that normality since in 1928. So, it just screams, misinformation. Misinformation. What else can we say? From there, we go over to, well, that's it. That's all the metals. So I guess we'll go over to the energy sector. Let's throw oil up there. I understand because this is what they're claiming on the news. Because the Iranians are moving a destroyer into the what do you call it? The Red Sea. That's the reason why the oil is going up in value. Okay, I'll take that. Why not? And you can see here, there's crude oil on the screen there. Let's put Brent up on J4X right there. And you can see there, Brent is moving down the last couple of days, just like it is over here in West Texas. And today it's popping up. And you can say basically the same thing about Brent. The close is down in here. The close is right there. It's definitely higher. The fast is at 18. The slow is at 20. So it's telling us that the daily pressure is still on there. And it does the same thing here. You can see that we are below the zero line. Even with a green dot and a red dot, it's trying to develop, and nice 3-day high out of, or trying to get to a 3-day high. We're still not reaching it. And you can see here the weekly is piercing through right there. Let's take a look at weekly Brent. You can see there a couple weeks in a weekly buy, and Brent, and it's trying to roll over today, I guess you could say. Let's see what the numbers look like. So our fast is at 62, our slow is at 44, so it's trying to roll over with that red, but it's been in a weekly buy now for a couple of weeks. Let's see if we can get that up on our beta. Where are you on beta? Let's see if it does it there. That's funny how it hasn't been feeding that lately. Let's see. Let's try it there. There we go. So it's on the beta there. And there's Brent with our math in it. You can see the weekly's been in the sell on that, whereas over here it's been in the buy. And you can see the strength has been there. We have had the daily in a buy from here. And just the last couple of days it slid into the sell. And it's still in the sell as we speak right now. And we'll know on the weekly by tomorrow how it played out last week. It takes a day. It's a day lag on the weekly. So just on the weekly, we'll go from there. All right, from there we go and look at natural gas. Right there, trying to lift up. You can see it still, the weekly is still pressing down. Actually, it doesn't look like it's updating. Let's just try this. Let's see. And that is, no, that's not there either. That's interesting. Let me just double check if the Febs are still being traded. I would think they are, because we're just entering January. So the Feb contract should be the front month at this point. Let's see. I'm going to go to the exchange and see what they're doing. And the answer to that is not gas. February, yeah. February's trading it. So right now it's up a little bit. Why are we not seeing that here? And let's put it up over here on J4X. Oh, that's the weekly too. Let's go to daily right there. Nat gas right there. Trading at is it the same? Yeah, I think that's the same. Nat gas 260, yeah. 264 at 264.9. Okay. So that makes sense. And over here, let's see, 26, 27. Where's the rest of the days? Let's see if we can fix that. NYMEX. That's really curious. Let's reload that thing. Reset scale. Let's see, let's go to the reload. Talk about strange. What is the misfunction there? So it stopped on Tuesday? Why would it do that? Let's go check. I want to just check what we've been sending out lately. Did I just disconnect that? I think I just did. Go like that, go like that. Let's put it up on the beta. That'll help me figure out what's going on there. Nat gas. NG, where are you? Copper. There's a G. Nat gas. Are you telling me we don't have it on there anymore? Something's wrong here. Natural gas. There's platinum. There it is right there. Well, it shows on our work there on the beta it's doing it. It's in that weekly sell. Now why are we not receiving it on here? Let's see if we can try one more thing. Format. Let's see. Huh. I almost want to just close this and reopen it and see what happens. Let's try that. And there it is on the beta too. Let's show you that. That's the S&P 500 as you see on the screen intraday. We'll go back to that in a bit. There's it on the beta, showing the plus there, showing the plus there, just like it's showing the natural gas plus here on the daily, you know, showing that strength on the upside. Let's now try reopening it. That's the oddest thing. Let's try another one. Let's go over to, let's see who's the next most active contract. Natural gas. The front month is February. The next month is March. So let's put the March contract there and see what happens. There we go. Let's see what natural gas in March looks like. So that would be H. Right there. Okay, let's see what happens now. There's G. Wait a minute, where's the H? That's January, it's December. No, I need to add. Why am I not seeing it in there again? There it is, March. It's around here somewhere. Now, why are we not finding natural... Oh, there it is. Odd place to be parked. Okay. Okay. Okay, close. Now let's put it in there. Right there. Let's put that in there. There we are. Alright, that's better. And there is today. And there is Friday. Okay, now that makes sense. And this is natural gas. Let's write that in there. NG. Sorry about that technical problem there, traders. NG. Okay. And let's change this back to there. Okay. Was on our Dutch trade. Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah. No, not natural gas. We weren't following natural gas from. All right, so there it is right there. You can see that. Let me save this. Save workspace. There we go. Save workspace as, like that. Yes. And then let's save it here too, like that. Not gas. Right there. All right, that makes more sense. You can see the natural gas has been trying to lift up. We got that. Now trying to get into, I guess I went into the cell there. Let's steal this cell right there. You know, leave that cell alone. Let's add one fresh like that. Whoa, what did I just do there? Let's try closing this, close workspace. No, we'll get it back. There we are. All right, now from natural gas, I guess we go over to the oil contract company down in Spain, which I think was around $27. We try to understand what European natural gas looks like price-wise. And the closest thing we can get to on a chart is this one right there, where it's $26.89. You know, it's coming down from it. You can see that on J4X. Let's put it up on beta. Where we got beta? It'll come up on beta in a second here somewhere. Nat gas and natural gas in Europe. Well, there it is right there. Let's put it up on the beta. There it is on the beta right there. You can see it's trading right here on J4X at 26.84 at 89. Same situation here. It's at 26.90 at the moment on the last trade. You can see we are heading towards the weekly sell right there, very close. And what else can we say about it? Basically, I would say that it's going to be very close when it gets to that weekly sell within the next 2 days. What else can we say? Let's put that sell in there. Right there. And we're starting to flirt with that daily buy and the weekly buy. So let's put that in there. We'll show it to you over here. See that right there? It's getting very close to the weekly buy. So it's above it at the moment. We'll give you a little warning sign like that. There it is right there with that little square. And it's actually, we can go like this. We can put a green in there up top. And by the end of the day, we'll be able to tell you what it should be. You can see right there, it is trying to push through. So we're seeing some strength there in the natural gas. Let's save that. and put it in like so right there. There we go. Now we'll save this again. And from there, we're pretty much done the energies. So now from the energies, we go over to, where do we go? We go over to, we can look at stock indices. How's that? And so there's the S&P 500. You can see we're in a second day of the sell. The weekly is trying to break down. The fast is broken underneath right there. You see the fast is trying to break down underneath the manifold. So we're seeing some pressure there. Let's give you a little flavor of the day itself. There is the, let's throw it up on here. Here's our 7,000 tick. And you can see here, this morning it started off in the plus. And it's just been slowly leaking. And we've been in the sell since right there, up at that plus. Been slowly leaking all the way down. So it's dropped from 25 basically, 26, something like that, down to 78. If it was 76, 27, 20, that's a 48-point drop. So right now it's a 46-point drop. So we're seeing a pretty good pressure on that. Now let's go over to the that's the S&P 500. Let's not there. Let's go like that, right there. And let's take a look at the Nasdaq 100 right there. As you can see there, the pressure. We've been in a daily sell again, 2 days, pressing down. This is trying to fall over. We'll see how that goes over the next couple of days. It's a 4-day week, traders. Remember that. And then we go over to the Dow Jones Industrial Average right there. It's pushing into the sell today, and it's weakening on the weekly right there. Let's take a look at the Russell. Take a look at the Russell 2000. See what they're doing with that. There's the Russell 2000. Russell 2000 did also close in a daily sell on Friday last week, and it's starting to feel that pressure now. This is more of the canary in the coal mine. If they start really breaking down on the Russell 2000, it means that the speculative buyers that were in the last quarter, the last month and a half of the quarter last year, is it's ending. You can see here we went into the weekly buy in November right here at the 1800 area, and from that, let's put that weekly in there right there. There we go. So there's the buy, and you can see we ran from 18 to 22, 21, I guess, went up to 21. So that's a 300-point move, or a what is that? That is let's see, 200 points on a. It had been 20% move. It was like a 24% move up over the 6-week period. Save. There we are. Save workspace as. Bingo, bango, bongo. All right, that's pretty much it, traders. We have to come up with a title today. What should we call today? I guess we could call today. How do we look at today? Even trying to figure out how to look at today. We just were expecting changes. Oh, let me just throw one thing up there while I'm mumbling about this, and that is the. Let's throw it up on the beta. The Bitcoin. The Bitcoin is marching big time, up a couple thousand points, I believe it is. It settled at on Friday. I guess, is that Friday? Let's see how that goes. No, that was yesterday. So let's go back to that. So just give a back arrow, that'll straighten it out. There we go. And so what we're looking at here, the wrong one. Let's go back to that again, right there. That's the cash. And so on Friday, there's Friday. It closed at 42,000, and here we are trading close to 46,000. So we got a 4,000 point move going on in that product. That's a heck of a move in the cash. So, all right, traders, we will catch you all tomorrow on Wednesday. It's already Happy Hump Day. So, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders.